Hello, everyone. So, I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. I hope it's been informative and it's helping you see your own mental pathways. I don't expect this movie to be too long, but there are a couple of concepts I feel I need to address before I go deeper. In the meantime, I wanted to make a few announcements. First, I have a Discord channel. It's fairly quiet right now, but my goal was to make it a library of sorts. And it has a lot of information tied around psychology and personality, and I'm constantly trying to make it bigger if I can. I'll be honest, I'm not the best at running it, but it's there for anyone who's interested. I also have a Patreon. I try to do a recorded Discord discussion every week, and anyone who wants to attend can attend. And we usually talk about subjects around personality, around levels, and also we share life stories and how personality interacts with that as well. And one more, I also have a Ko-Fi. If you like my work and want to support me but don't want to do a monthly subscription, that's also an option for people who just want to help out there. All right, what else? Oh, I want to give a shout out to a website my friend made. It's called SciForge.com. If you're into personality theory, SciForge.com is an experiment in triangulating personality across different models. It combines cognitive development tests like integral theory and spiral dynamics with personality tests like Big Five, Enneagram, psychology, and much more into one site. From one test using a personality theory developed called the Triadic Personality System, or TPS for short. And it has an AI mentor that gives you personalized advice based on your types that can help give you a clear idea of how to improve your mindset and through that, your life. The test is free, but use the code COLOR for 500 free coins at SciForge.com to unlock a bunch of other features. Alright, now that I'm here, there are a couple of concepts that I wish I could go back to. There isn't much, but again, since this is an intermission, might as well try. For level 1, going back, I feel like this video didn't go as deep as I wanted it to. I was really trying to focus on the parts that we could relate to and actually understand. The jump scare is really the only part that we can actually relate to. So it's not that I didn't want to put more information, it's more just that there really isn't much else that we can actually translate to level 1. However, again, we don't lose levels. This level will pop up in the future. It'll just come as it comes. So don't worry. For level 2, I missed an opportunity to describe a definition of the ego here. So if level 1, I usually describe the ego as a byproduct of our pain and pleasure sensations. Level 3, our definition of ego is pride or narcissism. The level 2 definition of ego is the sense of self. And if you're unsure about this, well, to have a sense of self, you have to believe you have a sense of self. To dissolve your sense of self, you have to believe you can dissolve your sense of self. And when you dissolve it, you have to believe you actually dissolved it. All of that is part of magical thinking. Now for level 3, there are a couple of intuitions I missed here that might be relevant. One of them is war. War is a type of competition, and any aspect of fighting is level 3. But one of the points I really missed out is that humor is a level 3 intuition. The core of a joke comes from diverting our expectations. The twist forms an element of surprise, which is actually an immediate pain response that instantly turns into an immediate alleviation, which is a pleasure response, which then comes out as laughter. And I'm upset I missed this point because, well, the earliest joke recorded ever is actually a fart joke. And that kind of crass humor is also level 3. Poop jokes are level 3. And it's just funny because I think it would have made the video funnier is all. Alright, and now the main reason I wanted to add this intermission. There are a couple of concepts that I need to bring up first before I go deeper. First of all, I'm describing levels as if they are in boxes. In reality, everything is malleable. So there are going to be trends and behaviors that kind of warp and mesh into each other. You can have multiple behaviors, multiple philosophies, and conclusions that will look like it can be at a certain level. But the thought process creating that conclusion is a specific level framework. And so it can get kind of wonky and complicated. This mishmashing of thoughts and ideas is a lot more complex between level 4 and 6. I'm going to do my best to be succinct and do my best to describe it as if it's in a box, to keep it simple and understood. But just be aware that it is more complicated than it seems. And then another note I wanted to mention is that in the levels framework, there is a concept called the observer. Now, all the observer is a person's ability to self-reflect and introspect. The part of consciousness that is able to do that is called the observer. Another way to describe it is the observer is simply the ego's attempt at being able to understand itself. And as we go into levels, as your awareness increases, the variables you consider increase, and the more distinct this feeling of the observer is. And that will be the sense of awareness. When you get into deeper levels, some people are actually able to kind of self-reflect on their own self-reflection. And what this translates to is that the deeper we go, the greater awareness you'll have in your own inner flow of thoughts and feelings. And I wanted to make that note specifically because there might be times where I describe the observer. Just know that the observer is just your self-reflection and introspection. And it will be easier to translate. Also, it will help you be able to understand what others mean when they describe the observer and what they're talking about when it comes to self-reflection and introspection. Yeah, those are the only two things. Anyway, with that out of the way, just be ready. The next level's video is level 4, and it's actually a pretty big jump with computation, thinking, and awareness. And it's going to get very complicated from here. So hopefully you'll be able to enjoy it.